Hi, and welcome to our mini lecture on internal communication in the workplace, brought to you by aspiring doctors Grover, LaRocca, and McCarran. In a Harvard Business School survey, 92% of respondents agreed that the practice of internal communication has undergone a lot of change in recent years. The patterns and processes by which people communicate with each other are currently in flux as texting, email, virtual meetings, and remote work are rising in popularity. While this presents new challenges for managers when it comes to effectively communicating with employees, there is also a great opportunity for leadership here. Today, we offer 5 strategies that you can implement in your workplace to improve internal communication and establish yourself as an effective leader within your organization. Strategy number 1, close the gap. The traditional approach to communication in companies tends to be a one-way, top-down approach. Recent research on leading successful businesses shows that moving away from the top-down approach in favor of a less hierarchical, direct, and open communication style helps to develop employee trust, satisfaction, ownership, and productivity. Strategy 2, prepare for a diverse audience. In all the forms of communication that you use, think about the differences in the ways that we perceive and interact with the world around us. Develop your communications to cater to multiple learning styles, personality types, and any potential physical limitations and disabilities. Strategy 3, multimedia approaches. Developing communications in multiple formats is a simple step that can be taken to make sure that your message is getting across to your employees. Consider developing all communications in at least 2 formats. For example, one for auditory learners and one for visual learners, or one for extroverts and one for introverts. Strategy 4, take a listening posture. As a manager or boss, you are no longer an individual contributor. A major part of your job is to synthesize and maximize the contributions of your employees that are working towards joint goals. Listening is a critical skill in managerial and leadership positions. There are many TED Talks that are available on the subject, like the one linked here by Julian Treasure called 5 Ways to Listen Better. In general, the key to great listening is RASA, receive, appreciate, summarize, and ask. By that we mean 1, give the person your undivided attention. 2, show your appreciation of what they are saying with physical or auditory cues like nods and verbal assent. 3, summarize and repeat what you are hearing. And 4, ask questions if anything is unclear. Finally, strategy 5, carefully plan for effective meetings. There are several steps that you can take to make sure that your meetings are efficient and effective. First, decide on a 1-sentence objective for every meeting. Next, make sure that you're using your time and the time of your employees wisely. To help with this, make sure that your agenda only includes topics that further your one-line objectives, and carefully consider who needs to be there to further the objective. Write out an agenda that gives time allotments to your priority areas in a sequence that follows a logical order. And finally, make sure that your meeting participants feel that a sensible process was followed. You can do this by, for example, sharing your agenda before the meeting and welcoming feedback, and summarizing next steps at the end of the meeting. To summarize, the goal of internal communication should never be a one-way delivery of information. Your job as a manager is to promote a 2-way dialogue in your company. Effective leaders don't become effective by chance. Leading effectively requires strategic planning and practice. In all forms of communication, develop a clear agenda for aligning your conversations with your organization's objective, mission, and vision. Thank you for listening. For more useful tips on internal communication in the workplace, see the following references.